First of all, I just want to apologize for being late today. I ordered my wheelchair accessible cab yesterday, and it was 30 minutes late. Let alone the $30 flat rate fee I had to pay for a 5-kilometer distance. I would have taken the cab, I would have taken the subway, but the gap was just way too big, and it wouldn't be safe for me. And there's only 29 accessible stops in the city of Toronto. Transportation is a huge issue in Toronto, folks. Candidates, what I want to hear from you is if you're mayor today, what are you going to do in the next 12 months? What results are you going to produce in the next 12 months?
I'm in a slight conflict because it was with that very gentleman that I experienced just how that gap, mind the gap, how challenging that is when you got to pop the front wheels of your wheelchair over it to get in and out of a subway car. And what I will tell you is that within a 12-month period, you can see 2 tangible pieces of action from me. One is that this committee, call it whatever you want, that we spoke about before, will have the wheels under it literally, and it will be empowered. Not just a meeting group that comes together 4 times a year, but one that is connected to the apparatus of power at city government, with the mayor as a strong champion for progress on that basis. And secondly, you will see a prioritization in the Toronto Transit Commission budget that re-expedites, if that's a, I don't think that's probably not too good grammar, but that gets back on track the previously planned progress for making more stations accessible. We're going to see new buses, new fleets of vehicles that will enhance accessibility, but we've got to get cracking on making more of the stations accessible.
Thank you. Sarah Thomson, please.
I don't know if you've heard, but I'm the subway, Sarah. So I want to build subways. I want to expand subways and build more accessibility into them as we do that. I am the only one here that actually has a 4-point funding model and has the how-to behind it. So the first one is to put road tolls on the DVP and Gardner to get commuters coming in to help us pay for the expansion. The next one is to work with the province. If we sell them a better idea, we can get them the money back on the table. The third one is to create a subway bond so that people can invest in subways and we can get it built today and not have to wait another 30 years. And the last one is road toll subway bond. What else is it? Working with the province and working with the private developers to help us build those subway stations out. So that's my plan for transit, and it's fully accessible.
Giorgio Mammoliti.
I think it's fair to say that the Mammoliti committee, which everybody referred to that way, that's me. I think that's probably the first thing that needs to be done. We have to start talking about the issues with a viable committee that the council listens to. And secondly, an accessibility audit of this city needs to be done. That includes everything, not just transportation. But I think it's important for us to talk about infrastructure. Believe it or not, our curbs and sidewalks really don't accommodate those that are disabled in this city. Not yet. And I think that we need to recognize what changes need to be made with respect to infrastructure as well. You deserve a city government that says it will take 3 or 4 or 5 years to get to issues. And you deserve a report that says what is lacking and what needs to be dealt with right away. That's what I'll bring to the table, and I'll guarantee you that that's what I'll bring to the table.
Thank you, Mr. Mammoliti. Joe Pantalone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Torontonians, we've got a problem. We've got a lot of jobs to do, and we get only 8% of all the taxes paid in the city go to the city. 92% go to the provincial and federal government. And yet, they download us, the TTC, completely. You know, under Bill Davis, Peterson, and Ray, they used to pay 50% of that. You know, that's equivalent to $256 million. That's equivalent to 13% of our property taxes that we should not be paying. They should be paying because their transit system, because people use the transit system for the work, and who gets the income taxes? Federal and provincial government. You know, the problem we have is really that they're, you know, negligent. They're, you know, truants in terms of providing the service that city needs, be it in terms of Transit City, where they have the goal of cutting $4 billion from a plan, which means 300,000 people won't get transit, and our fares have to be high because they're not carrying their weight. That's what I would do as Mayor Joe Pantalone in the first 12 months. Knock at their door, make sure that that's
Thank you very much, Mr. Pantalone. Rocco Rossi.
Well, I'm not a believer that you knock on someone else's door to solve your problems and use up the first 12 months doing that. I think we've got to take steps that we can deliver on for you. You've asked a very specific question. One of the things that, and Mr. Pantalone said, and made a slam about outsourcing. One of the things that outsourcing can provide, and we have a big chunk of wheel trans that today is outsourced. And quite frankly, we need to outsource more because it's done more cheaply, more effectively, that we could provide more service with exactly the same amount of money. Because at the end of the day, our job is to ensure that we stretch every dollar that the taxpayer is giving us to give the services that the city needs. Again, I want value for money so that we can deliver value. We can deliver money to values and not just whining to the other levels of government. That won't get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi.